I made a discovery last night that didn't please me at all. That's not supposed to do that. So I thought, okay, maybe this thing's busted. But when you put your hand on there, that's actually quite warm. And that was a clue for me. Because these things should only have power going through it when it's actually activated to open, because this is a fail secure strike. That told me that it was receiving power when it shouldn't. So what I did was I confirmed that by unplugging the power supply here, and yes, it was locked, so that was good. And after that, when I put the power back in, it was still locked, which was really good. Means I could make it secure. But the first time I opened it using the sensor, it went back to that state. So that tells me either my sensor's bad or my power control unit here is bad. I'm hoping it's this one, because these are about 20 bucks each versus this replacement's about 140. So I had a spare strike and I thought that was going to be easy. I have spare power supplies, and I have a spare, there it is, and I have a spare sensor. So first thing to do is to swap in this one, which is easy enough because this green plug here, that unplugs from the bottom of the unit over here. All I have to do is plug this one into the power with that plugged in from here, and that will let me test it. Okay, that's the spare hooked up. Okay, we have power. That's locked at the moment. Unlocked, and it should, when this goes red, lock this again. And it's locked. Okay, that is good news. That means all I have to do is unscrew this one off the wall and screw this one on. So we're all good. That's the beauty of having spares. You have the options to go through and troubleshoot, so you don't figure out or guess which one you need to buy. I actually have two of those for some reason, so that's good. I was not looking forward to having to replenish a spare of that. I have another spare down in Melbourne which I didn't have shipped up because I figured that was going to just go add to the postage cost, import costs. But if that had failed, I would have been thinking, need to buy more spares, even if they're sitting in Melbourne. But that's good. I'll just swap out that power supply. Got a little bit messy as I had to unbolt this other thing off here to get the screws that hold this on. But that's okay, I can deal with that. It's then he discovers he put it on upside down. Oops. Okay, we're all reassembled and plugged back in. So what we do now, yes, we're locked. Yes, we're unlocked. And we're locked again. So, yeah, that was a relatively cheap fix. I've seen those power supplies for between $12 and $24 on eBay and Shopee, so I think Shopee version is probably cheaper. It always is. Or, sorry, usually is. Yeah, so that was easier solved than most of my problems. So of course now I've been left with a dilemma. The control circuitry for this, the side, it's not working, but it's still a viable 12 volt 3 amp power supply, which I might be able to find a use for somewhere else. So do I throw it out or not? What I'll do is I shall mark it so I know it's a dud, and then put it aside while I think about it for a next decade or two. This doesn't please me greatly. The pressure's not as stable as I would have thought it should be. It's better, but it's not like it was the other day when it was just locked in at 58, just sitting there. It was staying well above the cut-off threshold, which is okay. Yeah, I'll still come and check it each time it's done an automatic run to see that it's terminated properly. It's already Thursday. Haven't done a lot this week. I think to a certain extent that's just me pausing to savour my victories from last week and not wanting to court frustration by trying something new. I'm just standing here looking at this view towards the shed, thinking those two trees there in the foreground are much more prominent than I noticed them previously. I think I might have to go back and look at some older videos and see just how much I've grown. But you might be able to hear music in the background. There's some sort of local party going on. These things tend to go for a day or two all flaming night. So I was hearing sort of drum beats when I went to sleep last night, and I woke up this morning at 4 o'clock. Yep, they're still doing drumming. Great. And Spider was telling me yesterday that a lot of people locally have diabetes, and because it's a fairly poor demographic, medical things are optional. Well, not even an option for some. So somebody else has died recently from diabetic complications, and it happens to be they live on a 10-year-old grandson's path to school, and Jabita said, "Oh, don't go that way, somebody died." And I think he's wise beyond his years, because he said, "They're dead, they're not going to hurt me." Yes, because locally, I don't know what to extent this is true, but at least in Jabita's case, if somebody's died, oh, you don't go there. So yeah, she tends to be scared of a lot of things. But yeah, I'm standing here in the sun and it's getting pretty warm already. 10 o'clock in the morning. I might just go and go back to watching my YouTube stuff. I did think about going over the shed over here and battling with the PC to get the Windows 11 stuff to do what I want it to do, but nah, I think I'll put off courting frustration for another few days. So it might be a very short video this week. This time the party's just down the street towards the rice factory. So that's going to hate the people wanting to get through and give deliveries along that road. I'm told it's for some poor boy's circumcision. Woohoo! Hardly. Yeah, well, that's something they celebrate. I guess if they make a big fuss over the kid, he doesn't suffer quite as much, is the theory. Among other things, my son-in-law does. Primarily runs a rice factory, but among other things, he trades in birds. So this is a new one. The previous one got sold off. So this one's very talkative, even in the middle of the night. So yeah, not quiet birds, but I was having a chat with it earlier. Come on, speak up. No? Camera shy? Oh, okay. Well, it's Friday, and with so little achieved this week, or so little attempted, this is primarily a proof of life video, I guess. I did put this strip of stainless insect mesh across the door here. Reasons for that, you can see here, this is been pushed out from the inside. This stuff gets a bit rusty and you can stick your finger through it accidentally, which is what I did over here. So there was two holes here that I've covered up. Didn't notice that one. So the whole door needs to be redone with this stainless mesh, which is actually going to last a bit longer. But I only have a small piece of that over in the shed. But yeah, I haven't really done much. But I think probably if I get really enthused later today, I'll go over there and continue with the Windows 11 configuration on the shed computer. Still waiting on my M2 NVMe SSD to USB adapter to get the monster PC going again, or attempt to get it going again. But I'm kind of at the mercy of my stepdaughter Lizu and her ordering stuff from Shopee, which we do when we have a bit of money in the Shopee account. So I don't get a lot of feedback. Sometimes I'll be told something's out of stock, but often I don't know whether things have been ordered or whether the right number's been ordered or what. So we'll see. Anyway, short video this week.